Okay, good evening, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Greginator, creator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood lonely nomad, and of course, the unstoppable independent podcaster, and of course, rookie podcaster of Lawrence, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging with me on the 90th episode of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show. Live and direct from StreamYard, and alongside of myself is the Instagram live feed of the podcast show page, and of course YouTube as well. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you can be reminded of when each episode is um on going to be dropped. And so the details of each episode that's going to be dropping is going to be Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And since I have one episode to drop today, this one right here will be dropped tomorrow. And then 91 will be, depending on the day exactly. I'm going to see what's going on here. So, anyway, so without further ado, um, you can go ahead and grab that subscribe button for me on the Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast YouTube channel page. Tap that noni bell so you can be reminded when the show goes on the air via live stream, alongside with um alongside with leaving a like and a comment along with the episodes of the stuff that's going to be reviewed as far as music artists, TV shows, movies, and other things. Of course, share the videos, share the episodes, and of course, download these episodes. That's very important. And for the most part, um, I will handle where you can listen and stream and watch these episodes on every streaming platform at the end of the show. I do apologize for the episodes, for this episode and future episodes being delayed um, due to um, due to a little late dinner and some other stuff that came up. Um, and for the most part, today's episode we're gonna be reviewing we're gonna be reviewing a couple of things actually. A couple of things we're gonna be reviewing today. Today we're gonna be reviewing we're gonna be reviewing Alyssa Raghu's music discography, and including the latest project that she has out right now called Dreamscape. And we got a little hip hop history to get to, and a little bit of a review of Alter Ego, and then some gaming news for the video game chamber segment. So, all right, so let's get to it. All right, first and foremost, let's get to the music Kool-Aid section right now, man. Here we go. Right now, grab your drinks, your water, your sodas, and all that other good stuff, your mimosas, and take a sip of this music Kool-Aid. Okay. Also, so as I said before, all right. For those of you who may not know who Alyssa Raghu is, I'm gonna fill you in on a little synopsis right here. So, Alyssa Raghu is an American singer-songwriter from Orlando, Florida, of Guyanese, Indian, and Mexican heritage. As a recent finalist on the top 8 on American Idol, Alyssa showcased her talents, excelling in pop, ballads, and R&B music. She was a favorite of Katy Perry and wowed the judges during her 2 seasons on the show. She has performed with renowned musical artists such as Julia Michaels, Kane Brown, Leah Michelle, Cindy Looper, and Patti LaBelle. Alyssa is no stranger to performing in front of large audiences, packed stadiums, and on live television. She was honored when selected to sing the national anthem for the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of India. Excuse me. Her multicultural background, as well as her classical music training, has made Alyssa Raghu one of today's up and coming artists to watch. Alyssa's ever growing social media presence features fun, youthful, relatable content that keeps her fans coming back for more. And this is off of her website right here, alyssaragu.com. And it has like some stuff on here. One of them is the bio, and this is the music. She has some music on here, appearances, all the other stuff on there, and you can follow her on every social media platform. Of course, you can follow her on TikTok. You can follow her on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram right here. And now on to her music discography. I'm gonna go to it right now, actually on Spotify, if you will. So I did get a chance to listen to her music, and and you know, I have to really say, man, it really kind of hit me, and it kind of it's relatable. And this is what I like about this is what I like about a music artist. You know, being a storyteller, not the not the mumble jumble sauce rappers and stuff. So she has some singles out right now. Uh, so so 2017 she has a single called Leave. 2018 almost never is never enough. Dear Self, Best Part, Criminal, New and Improved, Someone You Love, Lie to Me, Soul is in LA, Lie to Me, Stonebridge UK Mixes, Never Gonna Give You Up. And then there's the Dreamscape project that I listened to a couple days ago. So the track listings goes like this: Can't Let You Go, Ignite It, Stay Here, Take It or Leave It, Let's Just Say, the less I know, the better. So overall, overall, I believe Alyssa Raghu is actually, following her goals and dreams, and the confidence is what really attracted me to her music. Is her confidence, the consistency, um, the storytelling, and the things that's like relatable. Now, I may not have experience in being in relationships because I've never been on dates or whatever, but that doesn't mean I can't learn from some of these songs that I've listened to. So keep up the good work. I'm really proud of you. And like I said, you can follow Alyssa Raghu on every social media platform, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I wish you the best and continue success with your music career. And thank you. All right, we got some hip hop stories that we need to get to. Um, Now I didn't get a chance to touch on. I did not get a chance to touch on the Chris Lighty violator records thing. Okay, so um, on this day in hip hop history, the management company and label Imprint Violator released their first compilation album entitled Violator, the album, showcasing the management team's star-studded talent roster. This album is full of rarities, making it a must-have for any self-proclaimed hip-hop head. For those out of the loop, Violator was a multi-dimensional entertainment conglomerate ran by the late great Chris Lighty until his untimely passing on August 30th, 2012. Thriving mainly from 1999 to the early 2000s, Violator represented some of hip hop's most known titans, including Mariah Carey, Busta Rhymes, Q-Tip, Missy Elliott, Nas, Maya, 50 Cent, Mobb Deep, and LL Cool J, just to name a few. Violator, the album, was the first release from Violator Records in collaboration with Def Jam. Due to Chris Lighty and Violator's expansive resources, this album was able to be jam packed um, with talent ranging from all sides of hip hop, with production handled by the Beatnuts, DJ Scratch, Diamond D, Havoc, Q Tip, and Swiss Beats. It is hard to dispute that this album is not one of the best produced projects of 1999. And as prolific as the production team for this album may be, it still in no way outshines the artist's performances. With features from Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, Mobb Deep, Ja Rule, Hot Boys, Nori, Fat Joe, late great Big Pun, Eight Ball, and Cameron. This album can be considered one of the best orchestrated compilation tapes to date. Commercially, the album was quite successful, peaking at number 8 on the Billboard 200 chart and number 1 on the top R&B hip hop chart. The project sold very well and was certified gold with 1 month of its release. Regardless of its sales or star roster, what makes this album a piece of hip hop history is the first single released from the project, A Tribe Called Quest's Q-Tip's solo debut, Vibrant Thing, which peaked at number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100, was released in promotion for Q-Tip's debut solo LP, Amplified. This track marked the evolution of Q-Tip's career, marking his transition to independent. Following the success of this album, Violator went on to release a sequel 2 years prior, Violator, the album 2.0. 2.0, excuse me, had a similar response but failed to be as popular as its predecessor. Um, Another hip hop history we need to get to is the hip hop cult classic Flick Crush Groove, released in theaters 37 years ago. On this date in 1985, hip hop bigwig Russell Simmons, along with film producer Michael Schultz, unveiled the Hip Hop Glory Days fairy tale about the early days of Def Jam and the Warner Brothers distributed Crush Groove. Um, This cinematic quasi musical was told in a very unique manner, with almost all of the artists playing themselves as the story is being told. The Fat Boys, Run DMC, Curtis Blow, Jackal, and Hyde, the Beastie Boys, and Sheila E. all starred as themselves while being managed by Russell um, and a young Rick Rubin before they became the icons that they are recognized as today. The flick even gives a quick peek into Def Jam's rookie and first solo artist, LL Cool J, was recruited in Def Jam's NYU dorm office. The movie's soundtrack boasts more than a few hits, such as the Fat Boys' All You Can Eat, LL Cool J's I Can't Live Without My Radio, the original If I Rule the World by Curtis Blow, which was famously remixed by Nas and Lauryn Hill a decade after the movie's release, and the title track by the Crush Groove All Stars. Shout out to all the legends who were quarterbacked by hip hop's Barack Russell Simmons in making this Def Jam biopic forever a hip hop classic. Okay, okay, let me see. What else? All right, so let's get to let's get to another segment right here, and this is basically TV related. This is TV related. Let me just get to this TV related. Hold on a second, folks. Um, yeah, this is TV related. I ain't put the segment in here too, but um, yeah. So um, hold on a second. Let me just add this thing here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, folks. I forgot to add this. All right. TV show checkouts. One. Okay. TV show checkouts. Um, in this segment right here, we're going to be reviewing a TV show on Fox that got renewed for a second season called Alter Ego. Let me just get the sound effect queued up right here, man. All right. Let me just get that out of there. Um, okay, so Alter Ego it is. Let me give a shout out to the people. Um, hey, what's good with you, homie? How you feeling? Hope everything's going good with you on your part right here. Um, I just reached my 200 episode of my New York podcast yesterday. In case you didn't know, I am a podcaster host with multiple podcast shows. Sports, this review show I'm doing, and my primary number one show um, right here that reached 200 is my New York podcast episode. So go check out those episodes whenever you get a chance, homie. And give me your feedback on the topics and how you feel about them. And I had a lot to say about Kanye West, so you can check out episode 200 as well. So there you go. Um, all right. So as I said, Alter Ego is an American music competition game show that premiered on Fox on September 22nd, 2021, which was last year. And it's been a year already. The series is hosted by Roxy Diaz, who you formerly known her from 106 in Park. Um, and basically, the premise of the show is that the contestants sing backstage while motion capture technology creates digital avatars that appear in their place. So the format is in the series, contestants stand backstage while singing and dancing as motion capture technology projects and an avatar on stage that moves when the person does. The judges then decide who has the best performance. Okay, so the production happened on May 17th, 2021. It was announced that Fox had ordered the series with Matilda Zotowski as executive producer. Um, on July 16th, Roxy Diaz was announced as host of the show with Alanis Morissette, Nick Lachey, Grimes, and Will I Am serving as judges. On July 26th, it was announced that Alter Ego would premiere on September 22nd, following the sixth season premiere of The Masked Singer. In a sneak peek episode that aired on September 12th, on, on September 10th, the contestants were announced. On May 16th, 2022, Fox shelved the series indefinitely. And then there's a few. I'm not even gonna go into. I'm not even gonna go into the contestants. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. So you check it out for yourselves. I'm thinking that it's on the Fox Now app. You can check that out over there as well. Um, and let's see. Let's see. Now let's go to the reception. So Metacritic gave Alter Ego a 34 out of 100 based on 5 reviews. That's not bad. That's not bad. And I'm not gonna go into the rating situation either. Um. So yeah, despite the no, hold on. I'm not even gonna really do all this extra stuff. So this is this is basically this is interesting. This show is very interesting actually, and I actually first time I heard about this, it was pretty hard though, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to say, man. So this is just one of those game shows that involves music, and of course, it's basically it's basically relatable in terms of people trying to make it, um, especially knowing from the struggle and stuff. So there you have it right there. Um, okay, so let me see what we have. All right. You know what though? Hold on a second. I know there was another thing that I wanted to actually get to and get a chance to get into that. But there was another thing I wanted to get to. So Jay Dilla, um, hip hop history. I forgot to do that one. Um, hip hop history. Okay, so let me do that one. I get a chance to do that one, so let me just do that. So, um, so on this day in hip hop history, the Source magazine celebrates the 16th anniversary of the late great Jay Dilla's first posthumous album, The Shining. This relic of the culture is one of hip hop's more cherished albums. In its unfinished glory, The Shining serves as the first LP that JD spits on since his debut, Welcome to Detroit in 2001. As Jay Dilla's time on this earth was coming to a close, he was persistently working on what would become his final masterpiece. Unable to finish on his own, Dilla called upon fellow Detroit artist Kareem Riggins to put the final touches on the project for him, with Riggins acting as if inside Dilla's head. This style of completion brought about an interesting, unique sound for the album, although some may call it disjointed. The warm and un, unpolished mastering of this album give it the nostalgic quality of a golden age LP. With features from Common, D'Angelo, and Black Thought, this album is a staple of hip hop soul. Dilla's trademark smooth cut production beat up with live instrumentation created a sound that showed a mature J Dilla more refined than before. Short and to the point like the majority of his work. This project is project this project is project was the perfect remedy to aid the loss of one of the most loved and respectful figures in hip hop. Commercially, the album was met with success as well as critical acclaim, despite being put out by the independent, barely breaking even records. The Shining peaked at 103 on the Billboard 200 chart and number 35 on the top R&B hip hop chart. Although sales may have not been on par with the hit albums of the time, Dilla's work still received a momentous amount of praise and admiration on his Phantom album. Yes. Okay. So there you have it, man. All right. Let me see. Let's turn my attention to. Let me see. Let me turn my attention to the. Let me see something here. Hold on. All right. Let me turn my attention to another segment right here. Let me get a chance to. Let's get into it right now. All right. So it's time for your video game chamber segment right here, and this is pertaining to what's coming up this month and upcoming months. So, so here it is. Okay, so like I said, I was going to actually was actually going to read a review where I left off. So this is going to be Resident Evil Village, which also comes out today, and another game that's coming out today actually actually is like a couple. Actually, I already mentioned the other three games already. So um, so there's a Resident Evil Village Winter's expansion for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Stadia. I'm not sure what that is, but PC also comes out today. Let's take a look at this review of Resident Evil Village. So, synopsis goes like this. Not all monsters hide in the shadows. Ethan Winters discovers this within minutes of setting foot in this isolated village at the foot of a medieval castle. Damn, medieval? Medieval. Yeah, medieval stuff, man. So The sun has barely burned off the morning mist when ravenous, fang-toothed horrors attack him. Resident Evil Village's opening hour establishes an incredibly tense tone, weaving together moody, atmospheric horror with roller coaster firefights that leave Ethan within an inch of his life. And like an ultra marathon runner, Village maintains this thrilling pace until its closing credits. Ethan's journey forces him to explore a ramshackle shantytown, blood soaked wine cellars, and a creepy mansion littered with animated porcelain dolls. These locals are perfect backdrops for a series of blood curdling encounters. My stomach lurched as a deformed baby like mutation chased me through a dimly lit basement, and I had to stop and catch my breath after a harrowing shootout with a snarling truck sized hound. Wow. Villages environment and enemy design are superb, making it one of the scariest Resident Evil games to date. Ethan slowly amasses the usual assortment of shotguns, pistols, and grenade launchers to combat this assortment of otherworldly horrors. The village's arsenal doesn't hold many surprises, but the overall gunplay is more polished, excuse me, than what we had in its predecessor. Running from villages, slow marching enemies isn't difficult, but navigating their flurry of fangs is still a thrill. Staying calm long enough to line up a series of headshots while these hordes bear down on your position is the true challenge. And I walked away from most encounters with a rush of adrenaline. A handful of adversaries, such as a mean, a mean mistress lady Dimitrescu, relentlessly hound Ethan throughout the game, much like RE2's Mr. X. You never know when one of these villains will stroll around a corner, which creates a palpable tension. But these sequences always eventually resolve themselves in an epic resource draining boss battle. When I wasn't battling tooth and claw for my life, I was scanning every room from floor to ceiling, looking for more ammo, healing items, and other valuable tools. Like previous Resident Evil games, Village's map does a stellar job communicating which rooms have been cleared out and which still contain a few hidden treasures. However, some items are better hidden than others. On the one hand, Village encouraged me to pore over its intricately detailed environments with a fine-toothed comb. I enjoyed most of these scavenger hunts, and checking a room off my map was always satisfying. On the other hand, a few items remained stubbornly hidden even after several minutes of scurrying, so trying to find every item in every room became a little tedious. Fortunately, even a cursory search of each room yields enough gear to get you through the trials ahead. Developing a keen eye for detail is also vital for Village's handful of environmental puzzles. I love how these puzzles offer a much needed tension release, and most of Village's puzzles left me feeling clever. Unfortunately, a couple of puzzle solutions are obscured by fuzzy logic. For example, I had to brute force my way through one puzzle that involved rotating statues, but because its clues were misleading, even after I stumbled into the solution. It still took me a while to work out the underlying logic. Fortunately, Village doesn't throw many puzzles your way, and most of them are satisfying, simple, so speed bumps are rare. Resident Evil Village's narrative is more compelling than I expected. Ethan is still a bit of a bland everyman, but his journey to rescue his daughter is full of wild characters and a handful of surprising moments. Village's narrative was never the main thing driving me forward, but I'm glad to see that Capcom actually put some thought into this world. And a few of the late game twists have me genuinely excited to see where this series goes next. Resident Evil Village is an impressive package. I love the recent remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3, but I'm excited to see Capcom push the series forward again. Village expands on Resident Evil 7 Biohazard approach to first person combat, offering a series of white knuckle encounters that perfectly um, complement Capcom's unnerving environmental design. Thankfully, Village's amplified action doesn't diminish its horror. If anything, Village maintains a sense of dread that few games can match. If you have the intestinal intestinal fortitude for intense terror, playing Resident Evil Village is a great way to check your pulse. So the concept, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard protagonist Ethan Winters travels to a remote village hoping to rescue his kidnapped daughter, only to come face to face with a new breed of flesh-hungry monsters. Graphics from decrepit bars to ornate castle dining halls, village jaw-dropping backdrops are a stunning showpiece for the newest generation of consoles. Sound for Capcom's haunting soundtrack gets the blood pumping, and the voiceover is solid, but Ethan constantly seems out of breath, which is a bit annoying. Playability expect a slow paced shooter, but the tension remains incredibly high, and the gunplay feels great. Entertainment, Village doesn't pull any punches when it comes to horror, but a consistent rollout of new weapons and tools makes it hard to walk away from these terrors. And replay is moderately high. So there you have it right there, man. Okay, so let's see. So also for next week in November, we have Endling Extinction Forever for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, um, November 3rd. Um, Also coming up for November 3rd is How to Say Goodbye for Nintendo Switch, PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. November 3rd. Also coming out on the November 3rd is The Chant for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. Um, the Entropy Center also comes out on the 3rd, which is PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. WRC Generations for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And for November 4th, Demon Throttle for Nintendo Switch, Harvestella, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And It Takes Two. Wow. Just like okay, it's different. It's different from the fucking song, folks. It's actually the name of the game. So all right, so let's get into the synopsis of what's going on here. It Takes Two. Wow. Wow. Okay. Beneath exhilarating roller coaster rides and silly conversations with squirrels, It Takes Two has a heavy heart. It's all it's about divorce and the role taken on a daughter who doesn't want to lose her family. It's about decaying love and the differences that divide us. It's about not wanting to face reality and not wanting to let go. It's also about hope and uncertainty, the past creating a better future, and finding common ground no matter how much it may hurt. Also, all these elements are beautifully woven into a colorful and soulful adventure that hits hard, both in its moving narrative and clever gameplay. It Takes Two succeeds in being a game that pushes two individuals to work together to create a relationship that works. But for how long? In an emotional opening shot, we see a little girl named Rose run off to her play space after her um, after her parents, Cody and May, tell her that they are separating. She's devastated and keeps saying she just wants them to be friends. As hard as it is for Rose to accept the news, we learn she's been expecting it. Not only has she made two action figures of her parents to play make believe with to show them the way she wants them to be. She also um, secretly purchased a book of love to learn how to make them care about each other again. Rose's tears fall from her cheeks onto the figures and book, conjuring magical forces that sweep through the house. When we next see Cody and May, their souls have been passed to their miniature wooden and clay counterparts. As these two adults rightfully panic in their new bodies, the Book of Love greets them as an upbeat, comical figure named Dr. Hakim, who promises to help them mend the bond they once shared. Um, the entire adventure is told from the diminutive perspective and delivers a nicely written story that unfolds amid treacherous action sequences. The blending of narration and gameplay works incredibly well, giving you plenty of insight into the minds of Cody and May as they leap about and race to find a way to return to their normal lives and sizes. Dr. Hakim doesn't want them to move so fast, however, and thinks they should stay small to work out their differences. This somewhat um, nefarious desire of his is brilliantly transformed into the foundation of the adventure. As the name of the game implies, it takes two. That shit is fucking a coincidence. Just like the song in the movie. Oh shit. Only be played cooperatively by two people, either sitting on a couch together or online, while each player is asked to complete individual platforming challenges. Not much progress can be made unless the duo is working together. Almost every significant movement demands teamwork, communication, and patience between the two players. Even when playing online, the screen is always split in two, so you can see exactly what your partner is doing. And an excellent touch that allows allows for um, the other player to problem solve with verbal guidance. Cody and May share the same basic moves, but are given different tools to use in each world. This makes them feel distinct and sets the stage for one person to always have ownership over a specific type of action. For instance, Cody has explosive gel, but it can only be detonated with May's rifle. Later in the game, Cody can change sizes, while May is equipped with magnetic boots, an odd pairing that is used to let both characters interact in the world in different ways to open up new, new routes. Combining the actions of both players is used in almost every sequence, which are usually wonderfully designed, delivering plenty of laughs, edge of your seat moments, and a unique flow that necessitates teamwork. A few sequences push both characters to do the same type of action, but with slightly different thinking and motions for each, such as having to spin the water wheels on a boat in different directions to avoid running into mines. This is the type of activity that will have you yelling back and forth as you stumble with what you want the other player to do in conjunction with your movement. While It Takes Two will be talked about for its cooperative only design and subject matter. Developer Hazellight's biggest triumph is the variety in action. When a particular gameplay has been explored fully, the action transforms into something new, which is taken for a ride in fun ways before expiring and presenting another idea. It's amazing how many different concepts are explored, almost coming across like a great hits of everything you can do in action games. But some of these ideas work better than others. But most of Hazellight's attempts are incredibly well executed, such as riding on the back of a magical catfish, roaring down an icy slope in a bobsled, or using a fidget spinner to launch into the air. The core gameplay of running and jumping is consistent in every world, but the problem solving elements are always being shaken up. Hazellight even provides a breather from the action from time to time through amusing mini games that allow you to compete against your partner, give them a helping hand, or in some cases, take out your stress on them, like hitting them on the head in a game of whack a mole. You're more like holy fucking moly. Oh shit. Constant verbal communication is an absolute must for almost every little sequence, which again gives this game a bit of a unique stance. Many of the challenges will have you saying phrases like throw the switch now. Some of the co op feats can be brutally difficult both in timing and movement, leading to both players dying plenty, but checkpoints are liberally dispersed. If you miss a jump, you usually start again right at that spot. Um, or just a few gameplay steps back from it. Progress being updated so often helps save the game from its slightly stiff and imprecise platforming mechanics. If both players die, they'll have to restart a boss fight or backtrack to redo a little of the level. But a nicely designed quick self revive mechanic limits those moments. The platforming is sophisticated, requiring double jumps and air dashes along with rope swings and more. None of these actions are completely reliable or as fluid as you want them to be, but are good enough to get the job done. Hazellight is quite aware of just how often timing missteps can be made and aids the player by having characters automatically be pulled to a ledge rather than miss if they are close. Um, it's 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 odd to see Cody or May magically move through space, but it's better than having to try a difficult action again. The helpful warping happens everywhere in the game, whether you are a good 5 feet under a rail slide and suddenly find yourself on it, or are about to miss a jump to a tree branch. It Takes Two may not be the platforming juggernaut that it aspires to be, but but it's more than makes it more it's more than makes up for it with its big heart, wealth in variety, and gorgeous imagery. All of its individual actions are things we've done in other games, but when applied to this distinct cooperative approach, they take on a whole new life and are used in wonderful ways over a long adventure. The action will have you laughing and screaming at your TV, and the story stays strong throughout, creating the backbone for an entertaining adventure that roars with excitement and should keep you glued to the controller to see if this couple's lost love can be rekindled. Now, the concept, an expertly designed cooperative experience that pushes each player to do different things in concert to solve challenges. The worlds soar with realistic details. It's fun to see how ordinary objects are brought to life to either transform into bosses or NPCs. The sound, the characters often converse as the action unfolds. The music fits the sequence as well, even conjuring up familiar melodies of classics like Flight of the Valkyries. Playability, many different gameplay ideas are explored, and none overstay their welcome. The variety is great, but the core platforming mechanics are not as reliable as they should be. Entertainment, a roaring success both in its co-op driven gameplay and mature story themes that unfold in playful and heartfelt ways, and the replay is moderately high. Hold on 1 second. All right, all right. So next time in the next episode, we're gonna go over some games for November 8th. From November 8th to the 11th. All right, so um, all right. Without further ado, let me see how much time we got. Hold on. All right. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. Um, I think we can actually hold on a minute here. You know what? You know what though? Let's get into another segment right here, man. I haven't done this in a minute, so a little thing that I like to call let me see. A little thing I like to call podcast free game mechanisms, man. I haven't done that in a minute. So let's get into it. So that way I can give you some free game on the types of things that you need to start a podcast. So here it is. Um, here it is. All right. Now this segment right here is for the people that are interested in starting a podcast, like myself, who has 3 shows under my belt, and for the most part, there's some key important equipments that you need to start a podcast. So starting with headphones. You also need a microphone. It doesn't have to be anything too expensive. It could be anything from your local stores like your Best Buys, your Targets. You can also find Yeti microphones, Voxcon microphones, which I bought from Target. You can also find it on Amazon, and you also find it on in Walmart. Now the one I have right here that you're seeing right here, it comes with a USB cable plug. So you want to get that to plug that into your laptop. So that's very important. You also need a laptop to do it too. That's another important key factor that you need to start a podcast. And of course, you want to have your why, your wins, your whats, your whys, your hows, and your wins. And of course, your story in terms of why you want to start a podcast and stuff like that. And I already addressed this, but I readdressed it actually, but because it's very therapeutic for me, and I only did it to actually look for a skill that I wanted to do, and this is what I was looking for the whole time, a skill to be behind the microphone, giving y'all information and some information in terms of what's going on with music artists. There's video games that's coming up each month and all that great stuff. Um, other than that, other than that, um, another thing that you need to start a podcast is also a hosting site. You want to use a hosting site in order for you to actually you know distribute your podcast to Spotify and other streaming platforms. And the hosting site that I'm going to recommend is Anchor. Is Anchor. So Anchor is one of those hosting sites that I use for three of my podcast shows on a weekly basis. It's a hosting site that actually helps you distribute your podcast, of course, and of course the tools for you to actually create your episodes and everything else included. Um, and as I said, you wanna have your unique you wanna have a unique name for your show. Um, but it gotta be something that nobody has ever heard before. So you want to actually do that in a creative space. So there you have it right there. Um, you also need a supporting software to do your live streams, whether it's whether of course StreamYard is the recommendation that I use. So it allows you to invite people to your live stream in case you're trying to do, episodes of your podcast. Whether you're trying to do live streams on Twitch, there's LinkedIn, which I don't really use, and there's also Facebook, and there's also YouTube, which is one of the primary sites that I use. Um, yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, yes. So Streamyard is one of the softwares that I use, and it allows you to actually invite up to six people in the free version. But with the upgraded version, you gotta pay. So I would stick with the free version because it's a lot easier, and and what I like about StreamYard is it actually helps you set your schedule on to do your live stream podcast episode recordings and all that great stuff whatsoever. So yeah, and as I said, as I say at the end of the show, of course, don't let anybody stop you from doing what you need to do to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about pleasing fucking people. It's all about pleasing your fucking self. You gotta please yourself first. You can't worry about you can't worry about pleasing other people because you're not gonna make everybody fucking happy no matter what you try to do. You know what I'm saying? So yes. So there you have it right there. That was your podcast free game mechanisms. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering what you're seeing in the background, this is my light box behind me, which is next to the flat screen TV of my room, and a little bit of the soundproofing foam tiles, and of course a little bit of the LED lights for lighting purposes for when I actually do my live streams on YouTube and of course Instagram Live and stuff, and two ring lights, which is actually helpful of my lighting situation. I stopped using my room light a long time ago because it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out for me because the last time I recorded with my room light on, it made my face look dark. So I figured I'd just make some changes, and I actually did that. So there it is, right there, man. That was your podcast free game mechanism segment, and now we're gonna go into a little thing that I like to call stream choices on the go. Let's do this. You know what to do, folks. You like what you heard. Um, all you need to do is show some love by following Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast on Instagram, alongside with my sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, and of course my number one show that just reached 200 episodes already, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast. Um, I'm still soaking the success in, and, and yeah, it's been. I had a lot to say about Kanye West and stuff. So if you want to check out what I had to say and stuff, and the reason why I lost respect to him, you have to go stream and watch and listen. You know what I'm saying? That way you can get clarity on things. You know what I'm saying? And you can also follow your boy right here, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. That's G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Um, be sure to turn your notifications for details on when each episode is going to be dropping. Um, like I said, the schedule of dropping each episode is going to be Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And by the way, folks, if you'd like to make a charitable donation, you're more than welcome to do that. My cash app is $G Money Stacks 555. Once again, it's not about bringing the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you decide to actually donate and comfortable with will be appreciated. And if you go to the link in bio of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast show page, you're gonna see a link that says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and it's gonna have a whole list of audio streaming platforms where you can actually listen to the episodes. And of course, you can leave a voice message on there on anchor.fm/Meticulous Vibe Juice pod. All right. So starting with Anchor, we are on Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Cashbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and of course, be sure to actually leave a 5-star rating on Podchaser, along with Podfriend, and alongside with Apple Podcasts, and alongside with Spotify as well. You can leave a 5-star rating on Spotify as well. So there you have it right there. And of course, you can listen to Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast on the episodes, including Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. And by the way, folks, the app is free to download. You don't need a fucking credit card or debit card to actually do any of this shit. You can download it to your iPhones, your Android phones, your iPads, and your Android tablets. Um, and of course, make sure you follow my two shows that's also on iHeartRadio as well, which is my Sports Edition show, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, and alongside with my number one show that just reached 200 episodes, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast. Um, Make sure you follow that on every streaming platform that I just mentioned. And by the way, the links to streaming platforms. It's all there. You can also download these apps that I just mentioned. You can download these apps on your i on your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, and your Android tablets. All right, it's easy. You feel what I'm saying? And of course, and of course, last but not least, grab that subscribe button on the YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, which is the YouTube channel page, and click on that notification bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes, along with the review topics that was discussed. Um, Tell a friend to another friend, share the episodes, share the videos, download these episodes for me. It's very important. Word of mouth is important. Make sure you listen and stream and watch these episodes in case you miss any of them. Everything is all uploaded to the to every streaming platforms, including YouTube. And of course, be sure to share the podcast along with the link that says Linktree/, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your friends, and the people you're cool with from work, and all that other great stuff right there. So that's gonna do it for me. That's gonna do it for me. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for tuning in to the 90th episode right here, titled Dreamscape, which is the project of Alyssa Raghu. If you haven't listened to her music, her latest project and stuff, you can go to every streaming platform where you get your music, including Spotify, which is one of the outlets to listen to her project. And you can also check out her website, which is alyssaraghu.com, with everything that's on there whatsoever. And also you can follow Alyssa Raghu on every social media outlet, which includes TikTok, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, and there's YouTube. So there you have it right there, man. So make sure you go check her out and her singles and stuff. And yeah, that's gonna do it, man. Um, Remember the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off um by doing what you have to do to earn something. Everything's not going to be given to you on a silver fucking platter. So you have to work hard to get what you want and earn. So that's just the nature of things. And also, And also be sure to follow your goals and dreams, and of course, find something that makes you happy mentally, physically, and spiritually. New York wasn't built in a day, and of course, find some. Also, look for something like a spark that clicks to you, um, that gets you going, creatively speaking, into your zone, alongside with tunnel vision. You gotta have tunnel vision, and of course, a clear mind, so you get your mind off of stressful situations and whatever it is and stuff. So, mental health matters. Make sure you take care of one another. Stay safe. I know everything's crazy right now with the subway crimes. So be careful out there. And I hope y'all have a safe Halloween weekend. Happy Halloween in advance. Um, and peace and well love. And I'll see y'all next time in the next episode. Have a good night and enjoy your Halloween weekend, folks.